Hey there, beautiful people. How are you? I do hope that all is well and you have endured an excellent and prosperous week and you're looking forward to the days ahead. All right, so jumping in here, if you recall, we are in our CEO series. All right, so we're talking about generalizations of being an entrepreneur or a business owner. And whether it's you getting your feet wet or you're already existing business owner, or you grew up, in it and you have to take over. You have to take over the business for your family. There's always going to be some hot water that you're going to get into, some hills and some valleys. And so I'm here to talk about it. All right. So on episode 9, we're going to talk about, should you quit your day job? Okay. Should you quit your day job? All right, as always, I hit 3 points. The first point is your why. Why do you want to quit your day job? The second thing is, what is your plan? And the third thing and most important thing is, who is your support? All right. Hey, beautiful people. If your business is stuck at 10K a month, you want to start living in your 4-hour work week and live a life of abundance, or you're just getting started, then go ahead down below in the description and click on Rideshare Builder. You will have me for 1 hour to review your current business or plan, and I'll show you how to troubleshoot your way to financial freedom. Rideshare Builder School coming soon. Let's jump in. The first thing, why do you want to leave your job? In all things, before you make any kind of step in life, you have to have a why. It's important for you to have a reason for doing what you're doing. So whether you are, I would say, a first level employee like a customer service rep or anything, or if you are an executive in another company, if you are an athlete playing for a team that you don't own, or even a doctor or a lawyer working for an agency or a firm, again, as an employee, right? So these are factors that we want to look into. Everybody comes in at a different level, but could it be that you feel that you can do the job better? You can make more money. You're not happy in the environment that you're in. You're not pleased with the results, or maybe you see that maybe the company that you're working with is not doing so well financially, and so you eventually need an out. So there's so many things to look at. But you have to know what your reasoning is before you take that step, especially if you have a family. If you have dependents, you have to make sure that you understand why you're going to do that, because in those cases, you would have big financial responsibilities that you have to take care of. Okay, but that doesn't mean you cannot leave. You just need to know why and have the right reason. Now, this also fits in with episode 8, where we defined the word entrepreneurship, and we talked about who is an entrepreneur, right? So if you are getting these thoughts, I believe God is telling you that you were meant to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. And so he's giving you a little nudge there to take a step. So make sure you're consulting with the CEO above, okay? Now, that's point number 1. Number 2, what's your plan? What's your plan? You have to set out a plan for yourself. You must know what steps to take. Now, I'm going to use myself as an example. I did not leave my job when I first started my business. I was able to actually mesh them together, because the customers that were at the after-school program I was working at were my customers. And, my leaders supported it. They actually encouraged it so that I could build my business, which was really great of them. So they would be part of point number 3, which we'll discuss in a moment. But so I stayed for a while until things started to grow, and I couldn't juggle both at the same time. There was an opportunity for me to stretch out, but I did make one misstep, and one major misstep. Although I was single at the time, my only dependent was myself, but I still had my own place, my own car, my bills, my credit cards or whatever it is. I did not do any financial planning. I did not have an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. I did not make sure that those bills were covered for a while, just in case anything crazy happens in the first couple of months of heading out and quitting my job and being a full-time entrepreneur. So I urge you to take a look at your finances. Know what your current income is and your current output is, and make sure that you have something aside in case your income is paused for a while, because you will still have an output. You will still have to pay those bills. You still have to eat. You still have to live somewhere. You still have to use a vehicle, most likely. You still have to have those basic things paid for. All right, so make sure you plan that out. All right, and also you need to know in what direction you're going to go. All right, so that would be, an extra level of planning. Nowadays, it's easy. You can jump on YouTube or any social media channel and find out how to start any type of business in any industry. For instance, content creation. There are tons of creators that teach you how to be a content creator. Back in the day, you had to go to the library, talk to a librarian to help you find a book on a specific industry and try to figure out the best way to do it and call agencies and figure out licenses and things like that. It was a whole heck of a lot harder. The internet was there and it was introduced, but there wasn't as much information online as there is today. So if you are looking to jump into that hot water now, you're at an advantage because the information is right at your fingertips. Okay? And point number 3 that we're going to get to is, who is your support? Now, at the time, like I did tell you before, I started my business from my after-school program. So basically, the customers were kind of given to me, which is such a blessing, and I really thank God for that. Okay, so the support team at that time was my pastoral team, all right, the pastor and his wife, my mother, my father, my sisters, my brother, and my friends. And just about all of them became customers. My mother became a driver, my brother became a driver, my sister became a driver. Everyone was in support. Everyone was in support. So it just seemed great. It feels good to know that somebody is in your corner. Because if you don't have anyone in your corner, especially when you start to go down into those valleys, when things don't go the way you want them to, because that's inevitable. Whenever you start a business, it doesn't matter how prepared you are, there's going to be some trouble. And you're going to need some support. Why? Because we're human. We can say to ourselves, I'm going to stand firm, I'm going to stand strong, and that can happen. But there's also going to be some times where you're going to question yourself, and you need, of course, if you are connected to God, He will comfort you, but He also provides certain people around you to support you. He speaks through them. Sometimes, in all honesty, even if we listen hard enough, we can't hear and understand everything that God is telling us because we're limited. We are limited as humans, and that's our big fault. But with God being the source, He will always provide another resource to a resource. So in other words, you are a resource. Let me paint the picture here for you. Okay, well, let's take my business for example. All right, I was working at the aftercare. The parents had a need. God saw that I was a resource to fulfill that need because entrepreneurship has always been in my family line. I've always wanted to be a business owner. I tried to trail my father's insurance business, but I didn't like it. And I've tried other things, bakery and things like that. A lot of things that I've tried, but it wasn't my purpose. It wasn't something that I wanted to stick to when things got tough. I did not. I wasn't dedicated to it. But God saw that I was right in the center. And so, bam, the door opened. So I'm the resource that provided the solution to the customers that were in need. And now, as a resource, I need additional resources to help me push through, to help me become better. So it's like a building blocks of resources, because one resource is not enough. Think of a grocery store, right? You have every grocery store has different sections, right? And in those sections are suppliers that provide all the goods, right? So they may not stick to just Heinz for all their ketchup. You may see Heinz and 5 other brands on the shelf. So it's 5 resources to fulfill the need of the customers that are going into the store to get the ketchup. That's just a quick example so you can understand. We as humans are not God. We are flesh, so we need other people around us. So it's important to have family, friends, or co-workers, mentor, okay, whoever it is that you can have around you that God provides for you. And they'll let you know. You'll know. Because when you start to announce to the people that are close to you, hey, I'm thinking of starting this business, the ones that support you right away, that's your resource. That's your resource. That's the person that you can go to and say, hey, I'm having a tough time. And instead of discouraging you, they will encourage you. They will encourage you to move forward. They might even help you out. Say, hey, do you need a loan? Hey, do you want me to go help you do something in your business? Do you want me to volunteer? How can I help you? Can I connect you with someone else? You have to have a support team. Do not think that you can do business alone. Nobody that is successful in this world in business has done it alone. It's impossible. All right? So I really hope that these nuggets of information were helpful to you. I look forward to hearing and seeing stories of those individuals that have decided to make a change, quit their job, plan it out, and get started by stepping into the hot water. You guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye. Make sure you click the bell so you get the notifications and follow this page. Have a great day.